We're back!
Hello, everyone.
We're back after... Oh, wait, let's mute the video over here. As soon as it starts, this is how we see how long the lag is. It would help... Oh, it's an ad.
Prefer not to say.
I would prefer not to say how old I am. Okay. Guys, happy Friday! We have been missing for a week because Mr. Moore and I went to a beach far, far away, and we got to hold baby tigers and a baby monkey, and we might have another organization that we're going to start donating to through the business, but we don't want to talk about it too much until it gets all confirmed. But guys, we went to Myrtle Beach. It was a lot of fun. We're really happy to be back. I'm working on a major project that you guys will know about probably in the next like 6 months because it's going to take a lot of time, but it's something huge. So that's very exciting. And today we are joined with our friend Pam. Wait, hold on. Let me pull up Pam. There she is. Say hello.
Hey guys. Hey Starla. Thanks for having us here.
Yay, Pam. We're so excited to have Pam on. And it's something that we've talked about for quite some time now, but we just haven't had the time or opportunity or star alignment for it to happen. But Pam and I call each other we're the Etsy hair sisters because normally we have crazy hair. Mine kind of bleached out during vacation, but you guys know my hair is normally pretty crazy. Everyone is so excited about this Q&A because we're going to be discussing the crazy Etsy shipping changes that everybody is freaking out about. And I received at least 100 emails when all this rolled out of people asking me to do a Q&A. And I told everybody, I said, you know, I need to do my own research first. I need to sit down. I need to map this out. I need to read everything. I need to read what all the sellers are saying. And then I saw that Pam had already done all that. And I'm like, you know what? We're just going to bring Pam on and Pam can talk about it because she already knows. She did all the research. So we're going to have Pam discuss all of that as well as kind of shout her channel out because you guys need to follow her as well. But we've got, let's see, it is 11:53 a.m. right now. We hang out for the first 10 minutes of every video and give you guys news and stuff before we get into our discussion with Pam. So the one major thing that I really wanted to shout out during this video is I created some really great Halloween cheat sheets that have awesome themes that we've already identified as trending. And if you guys are not working on your autumn and Halloween collections, now is the time. Those need to be out by August at the latest. So get to work on those. Go down below. There's a free cheat sheet with a little pumpkin right beside it. You can download those. You can steal them. You can print them. You can do whatever you want with them. But basically, those are going to talk about some of the trending themes, some fun facts based on some data from past years on Etsy. One of my favorite facts that I learned is that Halloween items were searched more than Mother's Day and Father's Day items on Etsy in 2018. So
you need to back up the cat before you turn the computer off.
Yes, Bubbers, please do not turn off the computer. So while we're waiting, though, Pam, I would love for you to talk about your shop since it's something that I think everybody talks about Pam, but nobody talks about Pam's shop. So what do you make, Pam?
Yeah, my shop's Ben McFuzzy Lugs, named after the dog, and I make little needle-felted sculptures of people's pets. There should be actually probably there's a dragon behind me, that's one of them. And yeah, that's been doing Etsy since 2008 now, so I've been making these little things that all over the world. It's been pretty awesome, pretty fun.
That's awesome. And so when you started your YouTube channel, because I know that you have some videos actually about your shop and your products. Did you start your YouTube channel to discuss like Etsy the way that you do now? Or did you originally start your channel to talk more about like your shop and your products?
I actually started YouTube to try and get, my YouTube channel was to try and get a forever home for my foster dog. Oh. So I was doing little videos of my dog. And then I failed at fostering and she's still with me like 12 years later. But I was making random YouTube videos, just like social media. I was just doing, oh, here's something I think's cool and putting it up. And then I made a needle felting tutorial that did awesome. It's got like 40,000 views on YouTube, which is massive for someone who wasn't doing a channel. So that did good. And then I was watching random YouTube influencers. And what I'd been doing on Etsy, just to be active in the forums, I'd been trying to help people out, just giving tips and stuff. And I saw these YouTube influencers, and they were kind of saying to grow a YouTube channel, and all their tips were kind of the same as my Etsy tips. So I was saying to myself, well, could I grow a YouTube channel as a bit of an experiment and just use this Etsy tips that I've been giving out anyway and see how that works? So it was my little experiment for something different.
Yeah, and you know, I've watched over even just, I would say, the last year, and your subscribers, it seems like once subscribers on YouTube start to pile in, they get faster and faster and faster. Yep. And once you reach,
happening for us too.
Yeah, when you reach 10,000, that's when things start getting super duper crazy, because then you get prioritized in search, just like Etsy, because there is a little bit of SEO that goes into YouTube.
A little bit.
There's quite a bit. And yeah, so after 10,000, things get a lot crazier, I think. And you know, and how many?
So I'm just coming up to 8.5 just now. So
you're almost there.
10K by the end of the year, hopefully.
Well, let's do a little experiment, guys, for everybody who loves Etsy and loves Etsy tips and loves learning. There is a little magnifying glass down below. If you click show more in the video description, go click that, unless you're on mobile, and then maybe wait till after the video or else you'll lose us. Go click that in a different tab and go subscribe to Pam's channel. You're going to love her channel. She does lots and lots of Etsy videos, and you guys can also find the playlist that she created covering some of the shipping changes that we're going to be talking about today. But we're also
Nate posted the link in here.
Thank you, Nate. Oh, and then he retracted it.
That was the Etsy shop.
Nate, put that back. We want to see that too. Put the Etsy shop in there too. Unretract that. Do you see how we do him? Do you see what we do to him?
I like the bossing about. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah.
Now she's learning some things. She's like, oh, thank you, Nate. We appreciate it. We're very upset that we didn't get coffee from you this morning, though. So no, I'm kidding.
Don't order it. Don't
don't
have coffee. Don't do it.
Yeah, please don't order us anymore. Pam, did you catch that? Our last Q&A live on camera, Nate ordered us coffee and it arrived during the stream because he couldn't make it here. And I made one little complaint about us not having coffee. Like,
that's so awesome.
That it just showed up at the door. So
Nate, it's tea time here, so pizza will be good.
Yeah. Order Pam some stuff. Pam likes stuff too. Come on, Nate. All right, guys, it's 11:58. We'll go ahead he's young and overworked.
I like to tell him he's closer to 30 than 20. He's not young.
Yeah, that's true. Nate, you're getting there. All right. All right, guys. So one last time.
Address. Shut up, Nate.
No, Nate.
You know our address.
Pam's channel is down below. Be sure to subscribe. The playlist for all of the shipping changes will also be down below if you want to watch that later. And our Halloween cheat sheets will be down below, along with our marketing calendars. Both of those items are free. Go grab those downloads. Entering your email twice will not double subscribe you to my email list, but those are all the freebies. Pam, let's talk about Etsy shipping. Are you ready?
I think so, yes.
Okay, that was the most exciting 10 minutes ever. Let's get started. Pam, let's summarize the Etsy shipping changes for everybody who is hopping on here, and we're just going to assume that they don't know a single thing about what's going on, and they've kind of heard a little bit of gossip about some changes with Etsy shipping, but they don't know what's happening. They've never heard of this, and they haven't read anything that Etsy's published. What exactly is Etsy doing that has everybody's panties up in a bunch right now?
Right, to summarize, yeah, Etsy are making changes. A couple of weeks ago, they dropped their bombshell that had everyone freaking out. And what they've told us so far is that shops that offer free shipping to customers in the US for orders over $35 will receive priority placement in the search for that search term. So that's having people freaking out, because that was about the size of the announcement, which didn't really explain a whole lot. And then over the days that followed, we got a little more details. But the basis is that people were freaking out, thinking if you don't offer free shipping, then you're not going to be seen in search at all. Your items are going to be lost. So people are panicking there. This is not going to kick in till the end of the month, which is getting freakily close now. So we don't really know what it's going to look like till the end of the month. But some of the few things that Etsy have said, they did a huge Q&A for 2 days. The questions were crazy, and me and I know Deb, who's in the chat as well, we were reading through all the answers to the Q&A, just spending all day going through that. Firstly, the priority placement Etsy is telling us is going to be, it's like promoted listings. It's not going to be like knocking everyone else off the search. It's going to be another sort of area that's above the search. There we go, column. Thank you. It doesn't mean you're going to be totally lost. They're advising you're not going to eat the cost of shipping yourself. You're not going to lose money. You can roll into your price the cost of shipping. Now, I'd prefer if they said, rather than said free shipping, they said shipping included, because that's what it really is. But you roll in your average cost of shipping if you want to do this, if you can do this. And they've given us a tool that does that. So when you set up what they call their free shipping guarantee, which is just saying that all your items that are over $35 will show to US sellers as free shipping, and any combination of your items that are below $35, if people buy 2 or 3 things, that'll automatically become free shipping. So if you click on that guarantee that does that for you easily, they now have a tool that you can use after you've done that allows you to roll in either your average cost of shipping or the cost of shipping to the furthest away location in America for you, to help you out with that. That's sort of the basics of it.
Yeah, and if you guys are like afraid to push the button, I mean, I was afraid. I didn't want to push the button. I didn't know what was going to happen. What if the button didn't come back and I couldn't unpush the button? Pam actually recorded a video of her pushing the button and showing everything that happens preceding pushing the button if you are terrified to push the button. And if you're wondering if you can unpush the button, the answer is yes. In fact, right when you push the button, there's another button right after that that allows you to unselect the button, and you could literally push it, see the information, and then unpush it if you wanted to. But that's, neither here nor there. We have so many alphas who are worried about how customers are going to feel about adding the item price and the shipping together for, the total price and offering that free shipping. Guys, and I know that this is not for all items. I know that there's going to be somebody who's going to say, I can't do that with my items. Okay, I know that. This is not going to apply for everybody. We've heard every argument that there is. Psychology studies have absolutely, undoubtedly proven that despite the fact it's completely irrational, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, and then it would frame the average shopper as being stupid. Shoppers prefer free shipping even if the item price is higher, and it all equals out to the same. Shoppers want to see the price in one spot. And the number one thing that leads a shopper to not complete a purchase once they add an item into their cart is going into their cart and seeing the item price, the shipping, and then that big fat total that they weren't expecting. And I understand how crazy that sounds, because we say to ourselves, I would never do that. I'm not that crazy. I would see that. I would notice that. I would never fall victim to that, and my shoppers won't either. I do it all the time. I add a bunch of items in my cart, and then I see that with the shipping, and I say, you know what? I'm not ready to do this now, but I'll buy this tomorrow. And then I never end up completing that purchase. And my Etsy cart right now is full. I feel bad for all the people who post those comments and questions that say, a bunch of people have my item in their cart. but they're not completing their purchase. And I don't know why, because I'm one of those people who does that. I fill my cart with items and it's almost like a secondary favorites. You do that on Amazon. You load your cart with things to save. So it's not about humans not being smart. It's about the perception of overall price. And if you guys read the book Predictably Irrational by Dan Ariely, you'll learn a little bit about how dumb our 3-pound lump of brain really is, even though we consider ourselves to be relatively intelligent creatures.
Pineapple Jungle said that that's why Amazon's doing the Prime thing. Prime is the reason that Amazon is as big as it is. They started offering free shipping regardless of how big the item was, and it's 2-day. That's why they're so successful. That's why Amazon is the monster that they are now. You can buy anything with free shipping, and it's at your house in 2 days. Most of the time, 1 day for us.
Yeah. All right, Pam, are you ready to answer some questions now that our rant is over? You warned us. She said if I start, yeah, she said if I start ranting, let me know. And I'm like, no, don't you worry, Pam. We rant too. All right, so let's look for some questions, Mr. Moore.
I haven't seen any yet.
Elaine, how do we make sure that shoppers in other countries don't have U.S. shipping in their product costs? How do we make sure that shoppers in other countries don't have to have U.S. shipping in their product cost? Oh, okay. So if you're only shipping locally for free, but you're still charging international orders shipping, if you loop the shipping price into your product cost, how do you ensure that international customers are not paying that cost? Pam, do you have an answer for that? Because
a couple of things. The first thing you can do is the amount you're rolling into your item price, you remove that amount from the international shipping price. So if you've rolled in $5 US shipping and your international shipping was $7, now just charge $2. But the other thing is, Etsy is talking about a tool, especially for us who are not in America. The other way around applies, that our national customers would be getting charged way more, and there's no way to do anything about that. But Etsy is going to be releasing a tool where we can do country-specific sales. I don't know much about this because they mentioned it before the free shipping thing. It kind of slipped by, and then we thought, oh, what's the point of that? And then the free shipping thing came and it's like, that's the point of that. So there's stuff happening next month, but we don't know what it is. But basically, yeah, if you're in the US, whatever you've rolled in, count that in your shipping price and just charge the extra as your shipping price.
Right. And guys, keep in mind, if none of this feels right to you and you absolutely don't want to do it, don't do it. I mean, it's not that you're going to completely drop off the face of search. If you have decent SEO, you're still going to have visibility. They can't just make you pay for placement altogether. And one thing that I like to recommend is that do your external marketing. In Handmade Alpha Academy, we don't teach, I mean, we teach SEO, but we do not teach search as your like bottom dollar, the end all be all. We teach you to market externally. That way you're not 100% relying on that search, and you're sending people via your email list, via social media, you know, whatever platforms that you're using. We're teaching you as a seller to send traffic directly to your shop. So SEO is a very, very important part of finding new customers. But once you have a customer base, actually keeping those customers and holding the current customers so that you have repeat buyers is also very important. 80% of your sales should come from 20% of your market, which means that you really need to get your current customers to like you and keep returning to you. That way you're not just constantly fishing in this giant pond. You know, it's more like you have a little fish tank that you can just scoop in with a net and, you know, grab these customers that you've already sold to in the past. It's way easier to sell to a customer who's already bought from you and had a great experience than it is to find somebody all new and bring them to you. So for all the people who say, you know, I'm leaving Etsy, I think that there are a lot of folks who are just jumping the gun way too fast. You know?
That happens every time Etsy makes a major change. And a bunch of people leave and they freak out. It's usually not that big of a deal, or they just don't understand.
Right. And I mean, Pam, as a seller, we have to think about us too. And when all these people say that they're leaving, it's almost just like, okay, well, more room for me, you know? Is that how you feel too?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what we've got to be aware of is on any platform, but Etsy specifically, the majority of people start up and they give up way too soon. If you just keep going, you're going to do better than everyone else eventually. So let them all quit. I'm staying.
Exactly. And I love Etsy. Etsy's been good to me. I mean, they just like any business, they have to think about themselves as a company. And a lot of people are very upset about something that Nate brought up. Etsy recently purchased Reverb, which is a well, I mean, it's kind of
it's like eBay specifically for music stuff. You
Right.
buy and sell music equipment.
right. And that's a great thing. Like everybody's very upset about that, but that means that Etsy's expanding the horizons. That's a wonderful thing. It's an amazing thing. And, you know, for anybody who's a musician out there, we've even talked about maybe doing some videos on that later down the line as soon as we see how much of Etsy is collaborated in. We'll probably do a different channel for that. But
Yeah,
might be something fun, side little project.
I disagree with you, Richard. I don't think that Amazon Prime is a scam.
No,
at all.
Yeah, I love mine.
We use Amazon to order pretty much everything, and having the free shipping, especially when it's something like hard drive breaks and I need it tomorrow. Amazon Prime is nice to have. Also, I get music and movies and television shows, and most of the people that think it's a scam don't utilize it to the fullest extent of what it is.
Right. And then if that's the case, you probably don't need it unless, I mean,
probably not.
Right.
It's not a scam. It's just not for you.
Right. Paula asks, what happens when a customer applies a coupon and the total is then under $35? Do they still qualify for the free shipping? Have you heard anything about this, Pam? Because that's one that I've been wondering about too, but I haven't really seen Etsy acknowledge it.
I've heard a couple of people complain that it is given the free shipping if before the coupon the price was above the 35, but I don't think that's what they mean it to be. I think they just haven't sorted all the glitches out yet. But this is a wait and see one.
Right. And I'm sure, you know, these changes have not rolled in yet, guys. So Etsy's probably still sitting in their little boardroom and everybody's sitting there with their notebooks and they're all writing out all these ideas too and trying to, you know, all of the concerns that are brought up in these Q&As that Etsy's been hosting. Those are all going to be acknowledged. They are probably very aware of every single problem and concern that we have. It's just waiting for them to release the actual solutions to these problems. And, you know, right now, like Pam said, it's just kind of a game of wait and see and, you know, wait out what they do at the end of the month. How about handling fees? I had $1.50 handling fee, which includes the cost of shipping, box, bubble wrap, printing paper, and printer cartridge. Loop it in.
Yep.
Loop it in. If you're going to do this, just pull it into the item price. It's all the same.
Yeah, $1.50 is not going to break your customer base.
No. Let's see. Do you see any questions in the chat? We have to kind of scroll through quickly.
I think I had one right at the start. I can't remember who, but someone was asking about returns, which is a really good question. And Etsy did address this, and I've got two parts for this one actually.
Okay.
What you can put in your shop policies, you can say that if someone needs a return, then you'll return minus the cost of shipping as a kind of restocking type fee. So that's what Etsy's kind of recommending. But to beware for anyone selling to EU customers, you can't do that. You have to refund in full, including shipping to EU customers. So there's two different things there.
Oh, okay. But that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Let's see, man, now everybody's just talking about Amazon. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get in some questions into the chat. Otherwise, this is going to be the shortest Q&A in the whole wide world.
And I know people are concerned about this free shipping crap because a lot of people are leaving the platform.
All right. I'm curious, what is the reasoning behind removing the shop names from under the product names?
Maybe to remove a bit of personal bias from the actual purchasing decisions. So people that have had particular biases towards one shop or another, they're trying to encourage people to shop in more shops, maybe.
That sounds more because I didn't do that for me yet, and it sounds
No, I
more
haven't
like
seen
one of
that
those
either.
wonky things that Etsy's testing for some reason. Pam's like, yes.
Yeah, there are even times when her and I will be on separate computers looking at Etsy and things will be different. So,
Right. What do you
between
think?
accounts.
What do you think, Pam? What do you think the reason is?
Yeah, I think it's a trial. They're testing to see what happens. And yeah, it does seem a bit rubbish for the rest of us. One thing that I did think when I saw it on one browser briefly, and when I saw it, they also had the results were 6 items wide. So I think they're maybe trying to cram more people onto the front page.
Ah,
Could be.
An idea. But and Starla's the expert on branding, but that's just if you guys think about branding in your photographs, if they're doing that, so that your photographs are clearly from your shop, so your customers will still be able to find you. So it's not totally lost even if our name's gone.
right. And I'll be honest, I think that they're just trying to two things, in my opinion, that it could be. They're trying to level the playing field so that all sellers have an equal opportunity and it's not going based on a name. People aren't just looking at the shop name that they recognize and clicking on it. They're going 100% based on the actual photo of the product that they're seeing. Or Etsy's trying to eliminate a little bit of the shop branding on their specific interface because they've given us a lot more branding capabilities within our own shops over the last few years. We're not allowed to have the big banners, the carousel banners. I mean, we've got tons of branding opportunities in our storefront, but when it comes to the search page, that's Etsy's turf. So removing those little branding aspects allows you to see that search page as Etsy collectively as a whole, rather than a bunch of individual sellers within Etsy. So whatever your opinions on are that, it could be good, it could be bad. I don't necessarily have any opinions because my products are so powerful in the marketplace that everybody, like Pam said, they know my branding, and they know, even without like watermarks or text on my photos, they know that product is mine because of my particular style. But I can absolutely understand how that would be difficult in really saturated markets. So, but it probably is just a test.
Leonore had said, how about the fact that it seems to be illegal for people to increase item prices to compensate for free shipping? It's not. It's absolutely not. Everything that goes in from the product, when you start making it to the moment it leaves your door, every cost you can associate back into the cost of the item. I don't see how you would think it would be
right.
illegal.
If you have a source, feel free.
If it feels illegal, that's fine. I mean, it does feel kind of dirty to do that, but at the same time, it's either that or you absorb the cost. So
right. I mean, if you have a source for how you think it's illegal, feel free to post that down below.
Yeah, no, I'm all about it. I'm all about learning.
Right, but I don't think that there is any laws against it. All right, Della asks, with the 2 refund strategies, does Etsy direct that for the EU? So are they giving you some indication, or is that something you're responsible for?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're responsible for it. That was something interesting with the Q&As that were going on. Etsy had released, on the day that they did this announcement, they released a whole load of articles, and one of them was on this refunds and everything. And then during the Q&A, they realized this, and then they altered the article that says, here's a link to the EU thing. And basically, what they're saying with everything, and it's right, but it's horrible to hear, is as sellers, it's our responsibility to make sure we're complying with the laws in all the different countries. Etsy helps us, but we've got to check out as well. So yeah, the EU thing, we have to be aware of that.
Yes, and say it was the same when GDPR was introduced and everybody freaked out and they said I shouldn't be responsible for this. I don't even live in the EU. It's controlling and keeping track of the data from your customers that do live in the EU.
I don't want to be responsible for my business, even though everybody else has to.
Right, you guys have to be responsible, especially with the data of other people. How would you feel
for sure.
How would you feel if there was a security breach and all of your data, phone number, IP address,
tomorrow, and your bank account that had $5,000 in it yesterday is negative $100?
Right.
Oh, it's no big deal.
Right. I think that I was a big fan of GDPR. Obviously, it got a little. They didn't spell it out as well as I thought that they could have. And
no, they definitely didn't. It was a mess.
Yeah, we had to do all the research on that. However, I did actually like the GDPR, and I think that it would be great to see it in effect in more countries.
I mean, just like we're starting to be, most of the time when there's EU stuff that goes into effect that affects us, it's done pretty quickly and without a lot of thought.
Yep.
Same as us.
All right, Elva, I hope I pronounced that correctly. We are very new to Etsy. Would you recommend us jump on board with the free shipping or wait? What do you think, Pam?
Depends on the items, depends on the shop, but it's something worth testing, because I've had some people have told me when they do free shipping, it's been fantastic, it's done great for their shop, and other people have said it's like a light switch. When they turn on free shipping, all their sales go away. So we all need to experiment and test and see what works best for our shop, with our items, with our customers. They're all different. So Etsy's not saying we all have to do this. It's if it works, if it makes sense for us. So experiment.
Right. And nothing bad is going to really happen if you don't.
I mean, it's one of those things. There was a comment earlier. Somebody was talking about how their shipping sometimes costs 2 to 3 times what the item costs because the items are heavy. The items are cheap, but they're heavy. And obviously people like that, you're not going to be able to include the item cost into the shipping. You can't absorb that. You can't triple the cost of your item to make it free shipping.
If it's
not going to apply to everyone. That's one thing you're just going to have to understand.
Right. And Etsy's not, I mean, you don't have to do this. They're not forcing you to do it.
And the thing is, if you're in an industry where everybody is exactly the same, it shouldn't affect your industry at all, because no one in your industry is going to be taking the cost. Right.
You have to think about your competitors. And, here's another fun fact. When you are looking, okay, here's, and I use this example in Handmade Alpha Academy. If you go to a jewelry store and you're buying an engagement ring, and you see one engagement ring for, we'll say $10,000, and it's beautiful, and you see another beautiful, almost identical engagement ring for $100, you're not going to look at that $100 ring and say, wow, what a great deal. You're going to look at it and say to yourself, what the hell is wrong with that one? I'm going to buy the expensive one just to be safe. You're not looking at it thinking, what a great deal. You're looking at it and thinking, what is wrong with it? What's wrong with the quality? Why is this so cheap?
This one as good as the other one?
Etsy is a marketplace of handmade, where it is human hands creating these products, and who determine the value of what these products are based on their time and their resources. So when I'm shopping on Etsy, I usually see the more expensive item as being the premium product that I want to purchase. It is not a marketplace of bargain shoppers. This is a marketplace where people are looking at that price and using that price to determine which of the products is the most valuable and the most professionally created.
Yep.
So when you're thinking about your competition, don't worry so much about price. Usually increasing your prices can increase your overall sales. And we teach that in Handmade Alpha Academy. And so many of our alphas who have increased their prices dramatically have seen more sales than they did when they had those lower prices, where they were constantly competing with their competitors.
Pricing in the upper echelon of their field.
Exactly. So, and one person says, I'm a seller from Canada. I pushed that button a week ago and incorporated the shipping cost into the price of my items. For some reason, I've only had transactions from Canadian customers since then. It's very interesting. That might be a coincidence. I think you would need to test that a little bit longer, 2 weeks.
Yeah,
what's your test period, Pam? How long do you test things?
Depends on the time of year, why I'm doing it. Sometimes I'm proper scientific, and I'll say I'll do a 30-day test and then compare it to this time last year, to 30 days before, the 30 days after. And sometimes I go, oh, here's an idea. I change it and I forget what I've done. So, yeah, to be perfect. But 30 days is a good period. This time of year, things are a bit slower, so maybe even a bit longer. But what you can do as well, A/B split testing is a better way to do things. So you could do 2 weeks on one change, 2 weeks on the next, and flip about. And then you get, over 6 months. There's no hurry with these kind of things. You want a good bit of data to know what really works at different times of the year.
Yeah, and especially with the holidays coming up, if you get a product that's very giftable, it's going to be really hard to gauge what your overall, traction is going to be during the busy season, because you might be abnormally busy. And then when January hits, you're like, oh no, Etsy took away all my sales. And no, people just start shopping right now because Christmas is over. So Dia asked a very good question. Would you recommend keeping your business name in your tags? Would it then be searchable for people should they try to find you by shop name? I have an answer to that, Pam, but I would like to hear what you think. Putting your shop name in your tags so people can find you.
If you don't have your shop name in your tags and your shop name is very specific, then search will take you directly to your shop, which is kind of cool. But having your shop name in your tags can help as well. That brings up some of your items. It depends what you prefer. I actually have my shop name in my tags from historical things and just to help with like outside Etsy searches as well. Because I get quite a lot of people searching for me through things they've seen on Instagram. So I like to add a tag that way.
Yeah. And I personally, because you guys have to consider my products are a little bit viral. And because people do commonly search for my name, which I can see right in my Etsy stats, I can see what people are actually typing into search to find me. They do search for my shop name quite frequently, or they put Art by Starla, which means that they probably can't remember what my last name is, but they know it's Starla, Art by Starla, or I see Starla Moore Art in there a lot. So, and there aren't a lot of Starla Moores floating around. So I can see that people are trying to grasp at straws. They remember part of my name, but they can't remember the rest of it. So I figure, okay, I'll go ahead and put that in my tags, and that works for me. But if you have a very common name, and and a lot of different searches are going to also pop up for that name, like maybe your shop name is just watercolor art, they're going to probably get such a saturated search of people using those as keywords for their products that it might not be worth it. So I think that it really just depends on how viral your shop is, how likely it is someone's searching for you by shop name, how saturated the keywords for your shop name are going to be, which you can find with eRank. And do you think that people are going to be searching directly for you? So I would just test it, but maybe don't apply it to all of your listings. Maybe apply it to just a few and see how they do. Ginger.
Deb made a good point too. Maybe removing shop names keep shoppers from seeing clumping of several items from the same shop. Like when there's multiple items in a row, they're not noticing that they're all the same shop. They're not going to be purposefully looking for somebody else.
Yeah, that might be it too. Ginger, I heard that Etsy had grouped a customer's basket with various different shops so that they had a $35 total, but not from the same shop. Have you heard anything about this?
I really highly doubt that.
Have you heard anything about this, Pam? Because that doesn't sound right.
What I've heard is customers mailing the shop owners and saying, "Are you going to give me free shipping because I've bought several things from different shops."
Yeah,
so that's where I've heard more of this, is people thinking it's an Etsy-wide thing, not just the store-wide thing. So I don't think that definitely shouldn't happen when people buying off of different shops, but customers might be thinking, or I think they're chancing their arm actually. I think they're trying it to see if they'll get free shipping, but it shouldn't be the case. That's not what the guarantee should be doing.
Right, and that it defeats the purpose.
People are greedy. They're going to do what they can to save money.
Yes. Oh,
let's just be honest.
We are. Yeah. We're greedy all the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If we can get a discount,
get what you can take.
Yeah.
Don't take advantage of people, but get what you can take.
I love coupons. I use coupons all the time.
I search for coupons literally every time I make a purchase on an online store.
Yes. Retail me not. Let's see. Why be normal? And maybe I'm misunderstanding this question. Maybe it'll click with you faster, Pam. Why Be Normal asks, I wanted to offer a lower price point for free shipping, but I would have to turn off the free shipping tool, therefore losing the advantage. Any ideas?
Right. Do you mean you wanted to offer free shipping to items below the $35, which you totally can? your items that are below $35, if you want to make them free shipping, you can. If they're whatever price shipping you set them as will be how much the shipping is. So if you set them to free shipping as well, then that works. And anything at all that is free shipping will be included in this priority place. And that includes, a lot of people have been asking, digital downloads count as free shipping. So even if you don't have the guarantee in your shop, if you have some digital downloads, they'll be in the place. If you have a few items with free shipping, they'll be in this priority place. You don't have to hit the button, you don't have to use the button, and the stuff that's below the $35, you can still make the shipping. You can make it free shipping. I imagine you can still do coupons that say free. If you wanted to do free shipping over $20, you could still do that.
Awesome. Rosabella said, how many, or any idea how they choose the $35 number? I was already offering free shipping, but on a higher number. That's hard to say. There's really no saying.
They did a very small test offering free shipping over $25 and free shipping over $35. And Etsy paid the shops that were in that. They paid the shipping for the sellers. It was a really small test, but they figured out that the $35 was better because people would add a little more into their basket to reach $35. So that there was some testing done. I don't know how big the test was, but they did test.
So they're trying to get people to add more of your items into their cart.
Makes sense.
So they're buying more. So that's actually, I mean, that's a good thing, especially if they did the research on it and confirmed that people are more likely to add more items into their cart.
Leonore did respond. She says she has a source. It's on the federal regulations website. When you get that, send it to my support email, support@handmadealphaacademy.com. So I can read over it. YouTube's not going to let you post a link here. So
yeah, support@handmadealphaacademy.com. If you
shoot it to me and I'll read over it. If you have the actual section that it's in, I prefer not to read an entire regulation. So if you could send the section that it's in, I'd appreciate it. Or I'll search through it if I have to.
He was in the military. He's good at scouting out stuff. All right. And then one person said, I didn't have any orders since Monday. That's kind of scary. It's end of summer. I normally make sales every single day, and I haven't had sales in 2 days. So don't stress about that. It's a slow season. It's end of summer. People are going on their last vacations, or they just got back from vacation. They don't have a lot of money. They're spending time outside. They're spending time with family. They're doing cookouts. And right when like September hits, they're going to be back in action, starting to think about Christmas time. October hits, they're going to be thinking more about Christmas time. And then right like on November 1st, it's going to be like, screw Thanksgiving. Nobody cares about Thanksgiving. It's Christmas time. It is Christmas mode. And everybody's going to be going crazy doing their Christmas shopping. I just had my first Halloween order. You guys will probably expect to see some fall orders in August. That's usually, according to eRank, that's when people start to really search for autumn themed items and Halloween themed items. So don't stress too much about right now. We are in the slowest time for sales because people want to spend time outside. They're not sitting on their computers right now. Let's see. How do you think this will affect promoted listings? If I choose not to guarantee free shipping, do you think that promoted listings will remain prioritized in the same way? What you think, Pam?
Yeah, Etsy replied to this in their Q&A that they have no plans just now to change the promoted listings algorithm. So your promoted listings items will stay on top as they always have done. And then you'll have this priority placement, and then you'll have the regular search. So yeah, promoted listings are still going to be like the best thing if they're working for you.
Right. And we've got a great video that we did with Dave from Add to Cart. If you guys have any questions about promoted listings, he's kind of the guru on that. So we have, we always recommend watching that video. One thing I'll say about promoted listings is do not promote all of your listings. Pick some of your best sellers and test it out. If you have any questions about promoted listings, it's usually best to test it on products that are already performing relatively well, and only do a few at a time. Don't do your whole shop. And you might end up spending a lot more money than what you want to spend. Let's see, lots and lots and lots of comments, but do we have any more questions here? We're getting towards the end. Thank you, Nate.
Thank you for posting my email, bud.
Let's see. I offer a 50% refund or remake for my shoes. I heard that there was some legal issues with that. 50% refund or remake for my shoes. I don't think that if it's your business,
No,
well,
that's
it's your business.
you. It's your business. Run it how you want.
Pam, no.
Unless we're misunderstanding, I don't see there would be a problem with that.
No, that's your business.
Angela said GDPR question mark. If you don't know about that, you need to Google that and get learning.
If you ship to the EU,
yeah, if you sell products at all to the EU, you need to get in on that and make sure you're compliant. If you're just on Etsy, you're probably compliant already, though.
Yeah, but we do have, I mean, unless they're downloading their labels and leaving them like floating on their computer and not
I would just read up.
them.
There's some pretty good articles and some pretty good YouTube videos out there. We have YouTube videos and there's plenty of other Etsy
There's like
specific.
A gnat in here flying around driving me crazy.
I'm talking.
Sorry.
You're mean. There's plenty of other Etsy specific YouTubers that have videos.
Yeah, and we have a video on it, like way down, because this is like really old news.
Yeah,
but
GDPR is pretty old.
definitely something that you want to look up on. Will promoted listings still work if you don't use the guaranteed free shipping? Yes, that's a different service. You're paying for promoted listings. It's a totally different service. Of course, it'll still work. They're not going to charge you for promoted listings and then not give you what you're paying for with promoted listings. So let's see. Any more questions? Lots and lots of
people talking about the shipping stuff.
Lots of comments, but not seeing any more. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm wondering if people may be waiting to see if maybe the shop that they want to buy from is going to do the free shipping if they haven't as of yet. I've kind of noticed that Etsy shoppers, unless they're also Etsy sellers, most Etsy shoppers aren't well read on what Etsy is executing for their sellers.
No.
But
really.
A majority of Etsy shoppers usually have, in my experience, they know somebody who sells on Etsy, or they've sold on Etsy in the past, or they currently sell on Etsy. And that's just in my experience. There's no like statistics to go with that. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, honestly. Like, they're waiting to see if you offer free shipping. How much is your shipping that's so dramatic that somebody feels like they need to just sit and wait to see if you offer it? What's your idea on that, Pam? What do you think? Because I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I suppose some could be. There could be a small amount, and I would say this change seems to have got a lot more attention than most of the other Etsy changes. People seems to have been talking about this way more than usual, so it's a possibility, but I don't think it would be a very big possibility. People are impatient to wait 3 weeks to see if they're going to get free shipping when it's not going to be free shipping. It's going to be rolled into the price anyway. So no, I think it's just the sun's out. I think you guys just had a heat wave and we're having it in Europe just now, so everyone's down the river, down the beach. They're not buying.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, I've been selling on Etsy for a while. This is every year. Pam, can you confirm that this is every year?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what you're talking about Christmas there, roughly about 3/4 of my income happens in the last quarter of the year, every year. It's like right now, I'm happy with 1 or 2 sales a week. That's fine. And I have come up November, I can have 20 to 30 sales in a day, which I can't actually cope with. But it's
same.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I got this article, Leonore. This specifically applies to the item itself. If someone is told that an item is free, they cannot pay for that item in any way, shape, or form. But shipping is not a physical item. It is a cost of the product. So the product is already being paid for. The product is not free. Shipping is not a product. Shipping is a service. This does not apply to applying free shipping to a product. I can guarantee you right now that if somebody were to try to get you into court, you would win. This applies to an item specifically being free.
Okay.
Like if you go to like a fair and they say, we're just giving these out for free, they can't say, oh, well, we're going to charge you $1 processing fee for that. That is what that applies to.
Okay. Now we know, but we are not legal experts, so feel free to ask.
Come at me.
Feel free to ask a lawyer or other legal professional. But
yeah, no, for sure. If you're still scared to do it, or if you have questions about it, feel free to go with a legal professional. I'm just telling you that I can almost guarantee that.
The peeps at Etsy aren't dumb.
No,
they're
not.
covering their ground. They're doing everything they can to make sure that everything that they are doing is legal, and they would not push something that is illegal on how many sellers, Pam? How many sellers does Etsy have?
A lot.
A lot. They're not pushing this with just, oh, this sounds like a great idea here. They're looking this stuff up. They're making sure that it's legal, and I'm sure that they've got a lot of lawyers as well who are going over everything with a fine-tooth comb.
I get where the confusion could come from with it, though.
Right.
I mean, it's legal terminology. They make it to where it's as like open-ended as possible, but that to me looks like it applies specifically to the price of an item.
Yeah.
Not free shipping.
Frank the Tank asks, I've been on Etsy for 2 months. I used to get a lot of views at the beginning, but none now. Any advice? 2 months is not enough time to say that something is wrong with your shop. It is the time of year. Everybody is going slow. And right now, your biggest thing should not be just putting everything in your shop and saying, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm ready to see all of my sales come in. Oh, crap, there's none coming in. What did I do? That time needs to be spent advertising. That time needs to be spent, brushing up on your SEO. Make sure that you have a membership to eRank, even if it is just a free membership. Start doing research on your keywords. Normally when a seller comes to me and says, I'm not making sales, what the heck is wrong? There's no way to diagnose what is wrong. It's like you going to the doctor and you say, oh, doc, man, my stomach hurts. What's wrong with me? It could be your stomach. It could be your liver. It could be your kidneys. It could be, some digestive problems. There's a million things it could be. And just looking at you, there's no way the doctor is going to know exactly what's wrong with you. There's a million tests that have to be done. And the same is going on with your Etsy shop. There's no way to look at someone's shop and say, yep, I see the problem right here. Here it is.
Unless it's something blatantly obvious that you're doing that you shouldn't be doing.
And if you've only been selling for 2 months, the odds are that there's a lot of problems with your shop. That's how we all start. We all start with a lot of problems in our shop. So my recommendation is to not assume that you're done with anything, ever. You're never done. I'm never done. I've been selling for, actually, it's 7 years, and I'm never done. I'm always learning. I'm always researching, and it's never going to stop changing because people are going to be searching for different things at different times, and the results that you're getting for keywords are going to change over time, and trends are going to emerge, and you're going to have to go in and tweak things, and oh, now this photo isn't working anymore. Let's update all our thumbnails to this style of photo. It's never going to end. So constantly learn. I've got my videos. We've got Pam's channel linked down below that you can check out as well.
There are so many credible YouTubers out there.
Exactly.
Just learn. Make sure you're actually watching credible people that know what they're talking about.
At all times, every day. Learn. Yep. All right. Let's see. I saw a good one. All right. Sorry to join late, but I feel like I just can't do this free shipping thing because the shipping cost of my wood signs via priority mail range is from $8 in local states to $18 across the country. Don't do it then. It's not for you.
It's not for everybody.
It's not. As you said, you came in late, rewatch it because you're not going to be taken out of search. This isn't, that's not what this means. It doesn't mean that you're being eliminated from search. Just be sure to watch the replay and you'll learn a little bit more about it. And
you're not going to die. If you can't afford it, neither can anybody else in your industry.
And same with Artfully Yours, can you give a summary recap of the new shipping?
Just go back and rewatch. We reiterated it a few times.
No, you need to go back. There will be a replay of this. Just watch it when it comes back up. Any idea when the tool to change the prices per country will come in? Pam, have you heard about this? Changing prices per country.
They had, because they gave us the tool to change your US. They mentioned in August they will have tools for international sellers. They haven't even given us a hint what these are going to be like. So next month, but I don't think that was their priority. They were getting out everything they're doing just now, and then we'll see.
Okay.
That's all I've got. We don't know.
Yep, we don't know. We'll see. That's kind of how
Etsy likes to stay pretty hush-hush until they're ready to execute.
Yep. So. That's the theme of this Q&A. We don't know. We'll see. We'll see. This hasn't rolled out yet, guys.
Iris said, free shipping no matter what the amount of the purchase, or free shipping for $35. Which one is better? I personally think if you can afford it, free shipping always. But
A/B split test. Split test. What do you think? Split test? Split test? Split test. Test it. See what works for you.
See which works better.
It's going to change. It's going to be different for every market.
Like we said earlier in the Q&A, people prefer to see no extra costs when they go to their shopping carts. So chances are all free shipping always, if you can afford it, is probably going to be better.
Yeah. I mean, unless your products are all over $35, and
then you don't got to worry about it.
Yeah,
and it's always free.
Jen says, I'm not sure if this was asked. In regards to returns, Etsy encouraged a restocking fee if you're doing free shipping. I've read that restocking fees in some countries is not legal.
Yeah.
Have you heard that, Pam? Restocking fees is not legal?
Yeah, that's the thing I said with the EU is...
Okay, yeah, that's what we talked about.
The actual regulations in the EU, nothing's changing there, nothing's different with this. It's basically, if you sell online to someone in the EU, they're allowed to change their mind within 14 days and they get everything refunded, unless you do personalized stuff, which is why I only read up about this a short while ago, because everything of mine's personalized, so I can avoid all this. But the good thing is I haven't heard of so many bad customers for the EU that try and do this, but it's something to be aware of, that yeah, you can't get your shipping money back. They have to get a full refund.
Yeah.
I think restocking fees are okay if an item shows up damaged. I'm not a huge fan of restocking fees when somebody ships you back something they literally haven't even taken out of the package yet. It's something you're going to be able to resell. You're not going to have to absorb any cost for the product. If it comes back undamaged and you can just put it right back up, then I really don't see the point in making the customer eat the cost of that. As a customer, I would agitate the crap out of me if I sent something back in mint condition and didn't get all of my money back for it.
I mean,
it's kind of dirty. But if I were to send it back damaged, I would expect, like, okay, it's going to cost them this much in materials to actually put it back. You can keep this much. It makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. And that's super important, is to think like a customer. Like, what would you like? So many people are like stressed about being scammed and everything, but I've been, that's 11 years now I've been on Etsy, and 99% of my customers have been awesome. So treat them like you want to be treated. And yeah.
Even if they want to return, maybe they'll come back. Maybe they didn't like that product, but they want to come back and buy a different product.
Yeah. Most of our customers are great.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you get a dud, but
every once in a while.
That's life.
Exactly.
That's life.
Debbie asked, Starla, do you think shoppers will be filtering by price now, since they may think free shipping has been added into the cost of the item by so many shops now? Yes, I do. And here's the thing. This almost creates a new bracket of your target market. We're going to be seeing a lot. I mean, think about it this way. There are going to be the shoppers who are always going to filter by lowest price first. There will be shoppers like that who want bargains. If you're in the mid-range, those are not your target market. Those are people who are bargain shoppers. Then you're going to have the mid-range shoppers who are actually looking for the products that are in the middle. That's what I do. I don't shop for the low-end products because I end up getting a bunch of crap, mass-produced Chinese, products that I don't want. I know that the middle range is usually my safe range. That's where I want to be. I want to be right in the middle. So I will usually, on most websites that I shop on, I will search by the middle range. Then you have the high range. That's going to be, up in the thousands of dollars. If we're talking things like jewelry, you get the real gold and diamonds. And there is a market for that. There are people out there who are specifically saying to themselves, I don't want the cheap junk. I want the expensive thing. I'm buying this for my wife. I'm buying this for my wedding. I need the expensive item because it needs to be the best. Somebody like, for example, Nate. I'm sure that Nate probably searches for more expensive products on purpose because he knows that those are going to be the quality. There are people who want to shop in that particular bracket. So think about this as a more defined version of your target market, where you've got your generalized target market. And for those who are in Handmade Alpha Academy, you guys have a very detailed target customer that we've created together. But now think about the actual pricing tiers that we talk about in Handmade Alpha Academy, or if you're not in HAA, think about each of these ranges where you can say, under $50 or under $25. Think about these almost as different brackets of your target customer. Maybe they're in college and they don't have a lot of money, but you have a similar target customer who's, maybe she's in her 40s and she has plenty of money. So maybe it would be a good idea to have a broad range of products that hit all of these little areas, so that you have some products that are under 20. Maybe those are your lower ends, but then you have some products that are more expensive. So you have a little bit of chance on every pricing scale. There's a million ways to use this. Does it make more sense to add $2 handling charge into your price or keep it as a handling charge? Handling charges are like more up to you unless you're specifically talking about shipping.
So all this stuff comes down to what you would consider MSRP. You decide what the MSRP of your product is. No one other than you sets what your manufacturer suggested retail price of your product is. If your shipping costs go into that, if your shipping materials go into that, if packaging goes into that, if preparation and handling goes into that, you set that price. No one can tell you what your MSRP is other than you. And if you're having to absorb, it would be different if you're sitting and saying to your customer, like in your description, okay, we offer free shipping, but we're charging you free shipping in the price. That's totally different than you saying, I'm going to absorb the cost, or I'm going to increase the price of my item because I now have to absorb the cost of shipping. So now my cost to make this item has gone up $2, $4, $5. That cost to you does not have to be absorbed. You can increase the price of your product to make up for that.
One person said, there are people leaving Etsy because they think Etsy's telling them to do something that's illegal.
People don't want to get in trouble. It's understandable. Some people like to jump the gun, and that's less competition for the rest of us.
Exactly. Guys, research this stuff. Etsy's
Sorry,
not forcing
I'm getting heated.
Etsy's not forcing you to do anything.
No, they're not.
Let's see. Is it okay, Tina, is it worth possibly losing customers to add free shipping and increase prices to cover the variation of shipping cost countrywide? You're not gonna lose customers over this.
No, if your shipping is like $30, obviously you can't add that on. If it's not, no one's gonna care. If your shipping is like $5 to $15, like it is for most of us, nobody's gonna care.
Don't alienate your customers. If you have a high shipping cost, you're not going to, nobody's forcing you to do this.
No.
And Etsy is not going to remove you from search. If it's not right for you, don't do it. And if you guys are really worried about it and you have something like an email list, be honest to your customers about what you're doing and saying, hey, from now on, I'm going to actually be looping my shipping cost into my item price, giving you one total cost. So you'll know exactly how much you're going to be paying at checkout when you see that price on the item. And I think that customers who, most customers are going to be grateful that they can see that total cost altogether.
Yeah. If you sell 75-pound wood tabletops, people are going to understand that you can't offer free shipping. I think they're going to get that, like, yeah. I'm not going to go through that again. Sorry. Rant.
Bear in mind as well, you don't have to do it across your whole store. If it makes sense for some items. Yeah, one thing, like I sat and I calculated the number of sales my percent of sales I was getting from actual search, and it's 4%. And then Etsy went and changed the views and made this even easier to calculate. Thank you. But if you have a look, you could have 2 or 3 items that have the free shipping to give you the chance to bring people into your shop. But when they're in, they can look around and see other things. You're not stuck with having to do all or nothing. Pick on a few items if you want to experiment.
Yeah, definitely. Test things, guys. We're all scientists in our own way. So test. Imjo asks, have you seen the AC Moore marketplace? Any thoughts? Here's my thought. When it comes to new handmade marketplaces in general, there can only be one giant in every industry. Facebook is the social media giant. Instagram is the photo sharing giant. Snapchat, I would say, is the instant messaging, like photo giant. And they're also the giant for stories. We've got Instagram stories and Facebook stories, but nothing competes with Snapchat stories. We have major marketplaces like Amazon. There will never be another Amazon. Unless
Amazon does something stupid, which they could.
When it comes to a market giant, whoever establishes first and holds that position is the leader of that industry. Okay. Etsy has been around for a long time. They have dominated the handmade marketplace. Sure, there's probably going to be a lot of little pop-up things that, that happen.
This isn't the first time we've had this question about one marketplace or another.
Right.
Usually like once every 6 months or so, somebody asks us about a new website.
Then it disappears and we never hear about it ever again.
I wouldn't bother with it.
So
wouldn't hurt.
Handmade at Amazon was a little different because Amazon already has a lot of traction to their names. But does Handmade at Amazon compete with Etsy? I don't think so.
However, I just spent a couple of hours on Amazon the other day. As a matter of fact, I forget what I was searching for, but it now is like at the top. giving recommendations for handmade versions of stuff. So like if you're searching for something specific that there could be a handmade version of, it gives you like all the manufactured stuff at the bottom, and then it gives you like 4 handmade ones. And
you know why they're doing that? They're probably doing that because people don't know Handmade at Amazon even exists.
Yeah, but it was pushing it in my, I totally forget what I was searching for, but it was pushing it in my face pretty hard.
Yeah.
So we'll have to watch that.
Do you think Etsy will allow shops outside the US to create listings only for the US? No, probably.
I have no idea. That's a pretty specific question.
Pam?
That's the one I did ask them in the Q&A, and they didn't answer. So I don't know. And I also, they're not completely clear if we would be allowed to make 2 different listings of the same thing, to have one that was your free shipping to the US and another one that was your national one. Like if we could have a listing that could do that, it's not it's probably we can't do that basically.
All right. Let's see. Nate, Nate timed somebody out. Thank you, Nate. Thank you for moderating the chat. We saw
Appreciate you. We're looking for questions. There might have been a dirty birdie.
Get rid of them dirty birdies. And apparently the dirty birdie's name was Starla too. All right. I know, that's why I looked. I'm like, what did I say, Nate? Why did you time me out? It was a different Starla. Apparently there's a few of us floating around.
No.
Let's see. How about the fact that with this new change, customers would pay more for shipping? If I add $10 per item for shipping and someone buys 2, they're paying $20 instead of $10. I know that this has been brought up multiple times, Pam. With
yeah, this is the tricky thing. What Etsy is telling us to do is like, okay, your shipping costs across the whole of America for a lot of people are going to be different. Your combined selling 3 or 4 things, that's going to be different. And yeah, what you've got to think of is what's your average cost of shipping for an order. And if you're going to do this, you would roll in your average. So yeah, it does mean some people will get charged more and some people will get charged less. If you don't want to do that, if your differences are so great, then don't offer the free shipping. At the minute in time, that's why I'm holding off the free shipping, because my orders are so variable that I would just be ripping off. I would feel I'd be ripping off people. So yeah, if it doesn't work, don't do it.
Yeah, definitely. And I've offered free shipping for so long on my own and it worked great for me when I did it.
We vouch for it.
Yeah, I mean, it worked well for me, but that's me.
Again, it's not for everybody. Disclaimer, it's not for everybody.
Exactly.
Disclaimer, it's not for everybody.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, there are a couple of ways around it. I mean, one thing that I do is I make listings for multiple orders. I've always done that anyway. So you can do, if someone comes to you, you can direct them in your listing and say, if you want 2 or more of these, buy that listing, and then you price that accordingly. You can also refund. If people have overpaid, you can refund parts of an order, and that can be seen as good customer service.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be a great thing to do. Or stick a photo right in your listing photos with a coupon code. You know,
we usually honor that if somebody goes, if it's like foreign shipping and somebody goes in and buys 2 different products, like 2 different checkouts, we'll usually go back and refund the shipping for them.
Yeah, for our international customers still pay shipping. So we'll bundle for them. All right. We had 3 different questions about the EU shipping refund stuff, and they're all very closely related. And this is kind of our lightning round since we've only got a few minutes left. So we'll go ahead and acknowledge these, and then we will be allowing Pam to get back to life and puppies. All right. So these are all kind of related. I'll go ahead and just read all 3 of them. Does making items to size count as custom for the EU? And then I offer custom sizes, and people who order a size that doesn't fit and demand a refund, do I have to give them one? And what about custom bridal items? Does the EU return guarantee still apply? So I make custom items. Does the EU refund guarantee still apply?
No, if it's personalized, if it's customized, then you don't have to refund.
Okay. So custom sizing, you know, if you're
Custom, not if somebody orders a medium and it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Custom.
Yes. If you made it specifically for that person, you did something to alter it for them, then you don't have to refund at all.
Right. But custom and saying like, oh, you know, I have 100 small shirts, 100 medium shirts, and 100 large shirts, and someone ordered a medium. That's not
different.
Custom.
It's somebody messaging you saying, okay, I have a 46-inch chest, my shoulders are 54 inches, whatever. That's custom.
Yeah.
Right. And then we'll do one last from Stephanie. If you do the guarantee shipping, does it not have to be for the whole shop? Which we've already answered, but one last time, it does not have to apply for your whole shop. You can pick and choose and test, right?
Yeah. If you hit the button, it's the whole shop, but you can not hit the button and pick individual items, and you're good.
Which is what, you know, ultimately what I did to when I first started doing this. So just pick your individual items that you want to offer free shipping on, test it out. It's easy peasy. The button is just kind of, I like to consider the button a shortcut to do everything if you just want to click the button, if that's what you want. If you don't want to offer it for everything, don't click the button. Just do each one on their own and test things out. All right, guys. This has been a awesome Q&A session, a heated Q&A session. Nobody was really spicy in the comments.
I was spicy.
You were spicy.
I was a little spicy.
Was he spicy, Pam? Was he super spicy?
He was getting heated, yeah.
A little spicy.
I get that way sometimes. I get excited.
We get a little spicy when it's just everybody who says things like, Etsy's out to get me. They don't want me to succeed.
Like today, her sending me that link, that is the perfect example of exactly what I want to see when you say something is this way. I want some proof of the bullcrap that you're throwing in my face.
Thank you.
Like if you have you had a legitimate reason to believe what you believe. And
right.
You can still believe it because it's totally up for debate.
Right.
That's what I want. Don't just tell me something. Show me where you saw it. Source it, please.
We love sources. Send us sources. Email us sources if you have a concern.
Yes.
And sources do not include the Etsy forums and people just talking. And
God, no, please don't send me Etsy forums. God.
Some lady said that No, I want an article from Etsy or from a lawyer, from a valuable source out there somewhere. I'm sure that Pam absolutely agrees. If you ever need to ask Pam anything, please give her sources as well. Pam, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Everybody, Pam's links are all down below. You can find her channel. You can find her playlist that covers the Etsy shipping. Pam, how many videos are in that playlist right now?
I can't remember because that was a crazy couple of weeks.
It was.
Right, I think, yeah.
She was doing like a daily update, like, okay, guys, here's something new that we've learned. We just figured this out. And so it's more of it's like watching a story unfold. So the more that Pam learns, the more that the viewers got to learn. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's like you can see my emotions going through it. The first thing's like, yeah, Etsy's doing a change. They always do a change. And I don't know if I like this. I'm not sure what. And then you finish up at the week going, yeah, it's just a change. It's fine.
Yeah,
and my wife going through it as well. Oh, that was a crazy week.
Yeah. Like her intensity just goes up and up and up and up. And it's great. But guys, you guys can find that down below. Nate has also posted it. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Pam. Well, Pam, one more time. What's your Etsy shop? And Nate, can you throw that in the
he just threw it in there twice.
No. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, I'm Ben McFuzzyLugs on Etsy. And yeah, thank you so much for having me here. And if we've got any of my crafty friends who've come over, don't forget, like and follow Starla as well. Give her a wee thumbs up before you leave because she has some awesome advice as well. So yeah, thank you. It's been great being here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out. And guys, we will see you on, next Friday. However, a really funny video from me and Renee Christine will be posting on her channel on Monday for those who have been following the Alpha Bestie War of 2019. Make sure that you go back and watch my 2 videos and Renee's 2 videos on why we're at war and we're super duper mad at each other. Not really. I wish people would stop sending me hate mail. People think that we're really fighting and they're getting super duper intense about it. And it's just not nice. So we're not really fighting, but at least play into it and pretend that we're fighting. It's like a role play thing. Have fun. It's a point. All right, guys, have a great week and we will see you next Friday. Pam, don't hang up because we'll still be on the line. Bye-bye.